I'm gonna give you guys a brief update. I can't give you too much right now because the star witness is on the stand, and the star witness is Cardi B. There's been about 20 minutes of testimony, and I would just say that the tears were flowing in the courtroom. It was flowing in the courtroom. As a matter of fact, I may have shed a few tears myself, but let's be professional here. Cardi's on the stand right now. Well, we just broke for lunch, but Cardi was on the stand testifying as to how Tasha K made her feel. She said, and I quote, "She never even cared to care. She lied and said her father raped a teenager." When asked by her attorney, Lisa Moore, "Do you have herpes?" No. "Do you have HPV?" No. "Are you a prostitute?" No. "Have you ever engaged in any debasing acts?" No. When asked, how did these lies make her feel? "I felt helpless, fatigued, tired, anxiety. I felt suicidal." Cardi broke down on the stand. She was crying on the stand. "I felt like I didn't deserve my kid." And this was during the time that Culture, this was probably a couple of months after Culture was born, and she was dealing with this whole debacle of defamation. And she essentially said that she didn't know Tasha K, and she only knew Tasha K because of a post that Tasha K made where she was promoting this Star Marie Jones video, and she kept tagging Cardi B and hashtagging her to get her attention. And then when Cardi B didn't want to, Tasha K asked Cardi B to get on her platform to debunk this, and she said no, she wasn't getting on her platform to debunk it. One, her management wouldn't let her do it, and two, it would have just made the story bigger. So from that point on, she continued to try to bait her to get onto her platform, and then when she didn't do it, she continually taunted her, harassed her, and spread it voluminous amount of lies. When the lawyer Lisa Moore asked, "Did you know Star Marie Jones?" Cardi said she met Star Marie Jones while working in a strip club in New York, but she only encountered her twice while working in a strip club in New York City. And she said that there was 2 instances where she interacted with Star Marie Jones. In one instance, she told the jury that when Cardi was on the stage dancing, Star Marie Jones would be picking up her money while she was dancing. And in another instance, there were other strippers who saw Star Marie Jones picking up money that didn't belong to her, and they were going to fight Star Marie Jones. And Cardi B said she interceded so they wouldn't beat her up. When asked, had Star Marie Jones ever been at her residence, she said no. She's never seen her outside the club, and she was only a co-worker and knew nothing about her life. So these are the things that are happening in the court right now. And the attorney Lisa Moore, who's with the Moore Law Firm, is doing a pretty good job. There were 2 objections made by Tasha K's attorney, Olga, that were sustained. They were kind of leading questions, but she was able to recover and just rephrase the question. So I didn't know Cardi B was going to take the stand today. I didn't know she was going to take the stand. I didn't think that it was necessary, but apparently they wanted to make it a point with the jury that how it affected her. And clearly, based on this woman, Cardi B, saying she wanted to commit suicide, I didn't even know that was to the magnitude of what she was dealing with. And when she stated that it affected her marriage and that she didn't want to have sex with her husband, she needed therapy. She had to get counseling. This was really bothering her. She said that in one instance, when she there was a post where she posted her picture of her and her daughter, Culture, and she had kissed Culture, and then she saw some of the comments where people were saying, "Don't you have herpes?" Why are you kissing her? So these are the type of effects that she had to deal with because of these lies. And the jury's listening to this very attentively. And I would just say that we're on a lunch break, but there's going to be a lot more testimony. And I just don't see how the cross-examination of her is going to be to the benefit of Tasha K. But I don't want to go into another line of questioning prior to Cardi B taking a stand. And that's when her husband, Tasha K's husband, Sheikna Kibi, took the stand. And guys, remember, we're taking notes in court, so I have to refer back to my notes so I can give you the actual testimony. One of the interesting things that happened during the testimony was when the attorney, one of Cardi's attorneys, was examining Sheikna. He was asked in so many words, did Tasha K have control over whether or not the videos came down? He said yes. He basically said he had no control whether or not the videos came down. He threw his wife under the bus for the most part. It appeared that while he's the owner, he said Tasha K testified that her husband was the president of Kibi Studios. But when he took the stand, he said, well, I'm not the president, I'm the owner. And then the lawyer for Cardi B asked him, do you see the distinction between the owner and the president? So he said, well, I'm the owner. But he also said that he had no control over whether or not the videos in question came down. So ask yourself a question. If you're the president or the owner of a company and you receive cease and desist letters to remove content from a company that you own, why would you not take ownership of the content that's on your platform if you're the owner? So it made no sense, and the logic behind him saying that it was his wife who made the decision whether or not to take the videos down, it didn't make any sense, because in the earlier testimony, the lawyer for Cardi B asked, did you guys have a ownership working agreement or SOP or standard operating procedures for the company? So who makes the determination whether or not content goes up or content goes down? So it was a lot of blaming, and I think he felt, in my opinion, I think he felt that if he said he didn't have control over taking videos down, it was up to his wife, it would absolve him of any wrongdoing. But when you're 50% owner of a company, then you're 50% responsible, and you have the same culpability as the person that is doing the harm. So we're going back. First and foremost, we're going back in because Cardi's on the stand right now, and she's making a very powerful presentation with her testimony. And I would just say that this case is, I really didn't believe that she was going to take the stand because I didn't see that it was necessary. But I think this is just the icing on the cake. It's nothing more powerful than hearing the person who's being victimized tell her story. It's very powerful. She's a very good witness. And I would say that, Cardi curses. She cussed. And she said when she was giving her testimony, she didn't hold back. She said it. The jury, it was no flinching or reaction. This person we know is Cardi B, Miss Cardi B, is someone who has shown the jury that she's a regular person. And when asked how did she come up, she talked about when she went to a Borough Manhattan Community College. She did 2.5 semesters in college. She spoke about when she was in high school. She graduated from high school. She spoke about her first job working in the supermarket at the age of 18 and a half. And she took a job as a stripper because she was late for her job as a worker in the supermarket. And her employers suggested that she go across the street and work to get a job as a stripper. And she said the other reason why she worked as a stripper was because she was in an abusive relationship, and as a result of that relationship, she had to make money to get out the relationship. So Cardi's being very transparent. She's being very transparent. And this is Very interesting case. Very interesting case at this point. And I kept on turning around to look at Tasha K and her husband to see if they had any type of remorse or any type of emotion to her testimony, and they were stoic. The husband just kept on staring straight ahead, and I think 1 or 2 times Tasha K turned around and looked at the back of the courtroom, perhaps for a reaction. But in my opinion, it's not going good for the blogger lady. Right. So you went to BMCC, right? Birmingham Community College down by Chambers Street. Absolutely. So I'm gonna read a couple of questions. Yeah, I thought the husband, let me say this, the husband said on 2 different occasions that what the wife testified to was not true. And I don't know if he realized that he called his wife a liar because, one, he said that he's not the president of the company, he's the owner of the company. When asked, do you believe the president and the owner are the same, one and the same, he said yes. But he's never used the term, according to him, in his whole course of doing business, as identify himself as a president. So I don't know. I don't know what type of trial preparation that was, but I would just say that they need to get their stories together because it's not looking good. Someone said these people will try to hold on to TK's lies because they don't like Cardi B. But you have to ask yourself a question. Why don't you like Cardi B? There was a lot of lies told about Cardi B. And Cardi B testified that because Tasha K used the hashtag on YouTube in her videos, that when Cardi B's music videos will come up, it will be one of Cardi B's videos and there'll be another video of Tasha K, which will essentially make the video go viral because then people searching for the music, now they're looking at videos that are damaging to Cardi's career. And Cardi talked about how she came up from humble beginnings. She talked about her closeness to her family. She talked about how they get together to be with her grandmother in her New York apartment. She has a close connection to her family, so this has really affected her. And you got to ask yourself a question: if you're a mother, if you're a parent, and you are a career woman, and you have to balance all this that's happening while you're trying to help feed your family, and you're seeing someone is intentionally trying to destroy your career. The fact that Cardi said she wanted to commit suicide should tell you something. It's nothing to laugh about that. This woman said she wanted to commit suicide. I mean, she's a human being like you and me. So you got to ask yourself the question, what is it really worth it? So someone is financially enriching themselves off of the misery of someone else. And no one sees nothing wrong with that? No one sees that as a problem? If you think that should be something to be joyous about, you might want to reconsider who you are as a person. In any event, that's my opinion. And I'm going back inside, guys.